We live in a world where appearances are everything. Even in your friends group, everyone's trying to one-up each other. Who's driving the most expensive car? Who has the biggest house? Who has the newest bag? Social media also makes this worse by thinking that you have it worse and everyone else is living this amazing, glamorous life. And you start to think that your life isn't as good as those around you. It doesn't end. If you try to look rich and show off, then it just adds even more stress to your life. However, if you're able to keep grounded and focused, then you can build long-term generational wealth. There are 5 reasons why I think that looking poor is important. And by looking poor, I don't mean that you need to look all grungy and dingy and look homeless or whatever, or that you're all dirty. Just more so that you're not drenched in designer and that you're purposely trying to show off every aspect of your life. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Number 1 is that you get to avoid the vanity trap. It's easier to catch up if you don't feel the pressure to keep up. For example, having to buy the latest iPhone that just came out, buying the newest car, getting the most up-to-date trendy wardrobe this season. It's not just that initial cost, but it's the recurring cost that you have to dish out the money for to keep up with these trends. Because now you're just in this mindset of having to spend large chunks of money to keep up so that you can look rich and successful. This can honestly cost you hundreds of dollars every month or every season, especially if you're trying to do things like buy the trendiest wardrobe, and even thousands of dollars if you're trying to keep up with the latest iPhone and gadgets and cars. Looking poor can help you to avoid this vanity trap because you're not constantly caught up in this whole mindset of having to look rich or look trendy or look like you have the most up-to-date, latest, trendiest thing. Number 2, it allows you to practice contentment. And that means being happy with what you have and even maybe shifting the focus towards minimalism. It allows you to stop overconsumption, which, by the way, is a very American Western problem. Most of the time we get so wrapped up in the things that we don't have that we forget how much we do have and how grateful we need to be for those things, because we take those for granted too. Being happy with what you have and not chasing this whole desire of needing more, wanting more to be happy will actually in return make you, 1, happier, and 2, help you to save more money. Because when you really think about it, you don't need more stuff to be happy. Let's dissect that a little bit. Think about why you want more stuff. It's to look rich, right? And to come off as successful because you have more things. Looking this way makes us feel more important. It makes us feel acknowledged, validated, successful, and validated by others. This is all a mindset shift. This needs to switch. You are enough. You are worthy. You do not need external validation from other people. A good approach to this, or a solution to this, is to take some time out and think about what looking successful actually means to you. And you only, not what you think looking successful looks like to other people or how other people would perceive you to be successful. Like, does being successful to you mean financial freedom so that you can spend more time with your family? Or it means maybe you can take more vacations, which brings genuine happiness to you, not just for the showing off aspect that you go on vacation? Does it actually make you happy because you get to connect with different people from different cultures and different parts of the world? Keep your focus on the why and what you think success looks like, not what you think other people think success looks like, which could be a nice car, a nice house, a big house, or whatever. This mindset will help keep things in perspective for you. Focus on what's actually important, and this in turn is also going to help you save money, because maybe you would have spent more money on things, but you only are spending money on those things because you think it will make other people think you are rich and successful, but in reality it doesn't really matter to you. Take that money and instead invest it into something like the S&P 500, which typically grows 10% a year. So if you invest $5,000, or no, let's backtrack. Let's say you were going to put like a down payment on a car for $5,000, a car that you don't really need, but it just looks good. Take that $5,000 instead, invest it into the S&P 500, and you'll have made $140,000 on that $5,000 by the time you retire without doing anything else. So start living for yourself and stop living for other people. If you're getting any value from this video at all, it would really mean a lot to me if you went ahead and hit that red subscribe button. This way you will be notified anytime I upload similar videos. Number 3, You realize by looking poor that there is so much joy in simplicity, and there is money saved in simplicity. Simplicity will make you richer, so simplify your life and declutter. It makes you feel better, I promise. You'll notice, and at least this is the case for me, that the more stuff you have, the more stressed out you are. I know that when I have a lot going on the weekends, I get very tired, stressed, and cranky by the end of it, or even in the middle of it. Also, the more stuff is cluttered around the house, I get so stressed, and it just makes me feel very overstimulated. But the less stuff I have, or the less I have going on the weekend, I just feel better. Things feel more simple and easier. Let's say, for example, you're going house shopping and you really only need a 2-bedroom house. But then you see this beautiful 4-bedroom house that you don't really need, and it's like $300,000 more, but you're like, oh, it's in a great neighborhood, it will look really good, and people will think that we're successful if we get this house. So you decide to go ahead and spend the money on that bigger house even though you don't need it, and now you're stuck paying more taxes. You're paying a higher monthly mortgage probably. You now probably have to outsource cleaning because it's too big and you can't keep track of it all. Your electric bill is going to increase because it's a bigger house to heat up and cool down. There's just all these associated expenses that you now have to pour into this 4-bedroom house when in reality you didn't even need it, and you could have comfortably paid for a 2-bed that you actually need, but because you felt the need to show off or look a certain way to other people, that's where things go wrong. So there really is just a blessing in simplifying your life. Sometimes less is better. It's not always bigger, it's better. Number 4, looking poor allows you to build genuine relationships. It invites the right and like-minded people into your life. When you come off as being rich, you'll sometimes attract the wrong people. People that are either wanting to get something out of you, or they just want to be associated with you because they think you're rich. These are all just fake people that you don't really want to get mixed up with. They don't actually care about you, and they're not really genuine. They'll stab you in the back the second they get. I think that looking poor and building on humility and empathy allows us to attract people who truly appreciate us for who we are. They appreciate our morals, our values. They appreciate us for who we are instead of what we have. And you want to be around people that you vibe with genuinely, right? People that you share good energy with and people that are like-minded. Number 5, this encourages personal growth. The truth is, when you're not so mentally, physically, and emotionally vested in pleasing other people or coming off a certain way to other people, you can really focus on yourself and on your own personal growth. When you're not focused on looking rich, you open yourself up to a mindset that values internal growth instead of external appearance or external validation. Pursuit of wealth is often tied to external appearances, unfortunately. Luxury cars, designer clothes, high-end vacations, fancy gadgets. When you prioritize these things and pour your time, money, and energy into these things, your resources are often spent on acquiring these material goods rather than cultivating skills or experiences. By opting to look poor, you remove the need to compete for this status and to really focus on things that actually matter for long-term success. You invest more in developing your skills and living out different experiences. This also allows you to seek more knowledge about things like investing and how to manage your money like the top 1% in the world. If you're interested at all in learning more about how to manage your money like the top 1%, then that's exactly what I go over in this video. So I highly suggest you check that video out next, and I will catch you in the next video.